You're listening to the Franchise Freedom Podcast with Giuseppe Grammatico.
Welcome to the Franchise Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, your franchise guide, the show where we help corporate executives experience time and financial freedom via franchising. Thanks for joining us today. Very excited topic today. It's a topic that's been brought up, and I'm not sure why we haven't done a show. So I think we're at episode 151, and it's a show or a topic that's we've talked about, and I was actually just looking at every episode since 2020. And we've touched on it with the guests. We haven't really taken a deep dive, and it's called "What is a Side Hustle and What You Should Know." So, very exciting topic. So, before I dive in, I just wanted to extend the offer for anyone looking that's interested, wants to learn more about owning a business, franchise ownership, funding a franchise. Definitely, you can right here at the bottom here, ggthefranchiseguide.com/calendar. You could book a 20-minute call. Guarantee you'll learn something. Nothing to sell. The call is free. No charge. No contracts. We're here to essentially help with information gathering, empowering you, leveling the playing field by giving that information. If you go right to the website, you can also download my book, Franchise Freedom. Check out 150 plus episodes of the podcast. Even have a great workshop that I encourage everyone to sign up for. It's pre-recorded. Check it out. And we may do some live versions on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook in the very near future. So thanks again for joining. I'm going to take this off the screen, and we're going to dive in. So what is a side hustle and what you should know? And when I think of the word or the term side hustle, it's really having a business aside on the side. And you hear that with someone that has a job that has a small business on the side. So maybe they're working full time, as I did on Wall Street, and maybe they have a business on the side where they are providing video editing. It's something they enjoy doing, and they're able to do that after work. And I encourage everyone to have some type of side hustle. If you're an employee, having a side hustle is a great way to create a safety net for your job. At the end of the day, no one's job is safe. We can all get let go at a moment's notice. Possibly get a severance, possibly not. You got some unemployment that lasts, and I'm not sure how many weeks it lasts. Now I know that's changed in the past. So, really that side hustle is a great way to diversify your income streams. So you have your W-2 income, and now you have this other income on the side, but it's also a great way to diversify, create that, or I should say, create the safety net in the event you lose your job. You have this skill, this client base. Now the job is gone. You're able to dedicate a lot more time towards the side hustle, such as video editing or even a franchise. We have plenty of people we work with that have a full-time job, and their goal, and they say, Giuseppe, our goal is to leave our job day one, but we would like to get the business up and running, have a general manager run the day-to-day, learn the system, go to training, get certified if need be, in a restoration type of business, and wait 12 months, giving us the time to give appropriate notice to our employer. We want to give them 2 weeks, a month, what have you. We also want to make sure that we continue that income stream coming in from our W-2 jobs, health benefits and things like that, so we can transition full-time. Some people have that plan and just continue to run the business, what we call semi-absentee, 10 or 20 hours a week. But not just the income, but the tax benefits alone, where you can take some tax advantages. There are certain taxes and deductions you could take, accelerated depreciation. There are certain brands that are equipment heavy that you can accelerate the depreciation all in the same year. Now, what happens if you spend $100,000 in equipment and vehicles, the van, or the truck that's carrying this equipment, and you have no income from the business because, just say, by the time you went to training and obtained everything, you started the end of the year and got some things going, but that won't generate revenue until January of 2024. Well, great news. You can offset your W-2 income. So just having that side hustle, whatever it is, franchise or not, you're able, if you took a loss in that business, bought a new camera, computer, laptop, phone, any type of equipment, lighting, as I have lighting as we speak here, you're able to offset the W-2 income as well. I am not an accountant by any means. Definitely talk to your accountant about that and how you can take advantage. But side hustles, side businesses, side gigs, whatever you want to call it, are great ways, as I mentioned, to take advantage of tax benefits and really create that safety net. And that's really the point of today's episode, is that you can have a job, right, and have this side business. And it could be, we have a family that opened up or had a job, and I'll keep things confidential, but a full-time job. Due to COVID, they were able to work from home and continue to work from home, I believe, till today, and looked at a business to run semi-absentee because they wanted something they can transition into. Interesting enough, found out that individual still kept his job because his involvement in the business has become less, because he is following the system and he found the right employees, and not just the right employees, but he empowered those employees to make certain decisions so that he's not involved every decision, every issue, not being a bottleneck in the business. I became a bottleneck in my own business, full disclosure, where I had to okay every decision, every quote that went out. I needed to take a quick look and approve at, when I had perfectly capable employees that did a great job, that were able to go out and provide quotes. So once I started backing off and empowering my employees to do their job 100%, my involvement in the business became less and less. And that was my aha moment. And I was able to scale from there, because I said, okay, now I have 2 or 3 employees doing that. Now I can kind of double those efforts, double the employee count, and really grow the business. So whether your side hustle or side income is a franchise or not, it is a great idea. It's a great opportunity to learn a new trade. So in the video editing example, as I know someone doing this as we speak, and that's why it's just top of mind, any classes, courses, coaching, training is all a deductible expense. And again, if they incur a couple $1,000s in training and expense, they can offset their revenue from the business. If there's no revenue, they can offset the W-2, but it allows you to transition to the point where, okay, after that 1 year, that's the goal. I opened up January 1, 2024, and by January 1, 2025, I want to be fully involved. But you don't have to. You don't have to. It's not like the franchisor is going to say, okay, you need to be full time. You do need to have that figured out and work with a franchisor that allows semi-absentee ownership. And that's very specific, because if the requirement is to work full time in the business, you want to make sure you're meeting those requirements, or there's going to be issues from day one. So really getting clear. And in some cases, it takes you a little bit longer than a year. Sometimes it's less. Sometimes you say, hey, I got this great team, and the support is great. The systems are in place. I don't need to leave my job. It's really up to you. But I encourage everyone to take advantage of that. Starting off with figuring out what that business is, whether it's a franchise, video editing, or what have you, setting up the correct legal entity. Why I say a lot of people setting up are LLCs and S corps. I'm also not an attorney, so speak with your accountant from the accounting standpoint. Speak with your attorney from a legal standpoint, making sure that you're protected. I personally, from my book Franchise Freedom, and one of the chapters talk about building a team. And it's great to have a team where the accountant and the attorney can talk to one another. Throw in the financial advisor and the franchise consultant, and you got your team. So putting together those professionals that could communicate with one another. I didn't realize how difficult that was until I had to go through a few. And what I ended up doing was started with a financial advisor, and they put me in touch with an attorney. They put me in touch with an accountant, and they all actually are friends, personal friends, and are able to assist me in any aspect of my business, which is huge. And I highly recommend that to anyone. So side income, side hustles, what you should know, great for diversification. Figuring out, it doesn't have to be one. You can have multiple side hustles. From a franchise standpoint, you want to factor in at least a bare minimum 10, 20 hours a week, maybe more in the beginning, to get the business up and running. So with a franchise, I would not recommend more than one until that business is up and running and the right team is in place. But you'll be shocked at how many brands do allow that. And just to touch on that as well, not just saying, hey, can it be run semi-absentee, but finding out, what does semi-absentee mean to them as far as the hourly commitment, and how do they make it semi-absentee? Is there training, train the trainer training where they train you so you can train your trainer, or do they make it mandatory so you can train your general manager, or having the general manager come out to training with you and getting trained all together? Do they provide turnkey marketing where those leads get funneled to a call center, allowing you to have less employees, letting the franchisor worry about that, not having the need to get an office in the beginning and being able to work from home and essentially running your business off your laptop and your cell phone. So those are questions that I work with and provide and suggest every single person I work with to speak with and ask the franchisor in those questions. And definitely encourage everyone with whatever you want to call it, have some type of business aside that you can grow to protect you. And some people's goals, I had another gentleman I'm working with right now, and he said, my goal is not necessarily a year time frame, but as soon as I can match my $200,000, actually in his case was $300,000 W-2 income, I want to leave that job and transition full-time into the business. We do a conversation on full-time versus part-time and what that looks like. But that's something he was looking at. So my recommendation was, great, we'll focus on semi-absentee opportunities, but keep in mind a $300,000 W-2 income is not equivalent to a $300,000 in income as a business owner, given the tax benefits and also what the business is now worth, because now you're looking at whatever you're making in the business, getting some type of multiple down the road when you go to sell. So that's kind of a bonus. But if you can get a nice multiple in that business, that is going to be a nice exit strategy. It could be your retirement strategy. So we touch on a few things here. Any questions you have on the side hustle, feel free to comment below. Talk to your accountant and your attorney and have them speak together about the right legal entity, best accounting methods. You want to take advantage of taxes, but you also want to take advantage of protections, and putting everything on the table. If that side business has multiple owners, make sure you bring that up, as that may affect the legal structure. Lastly, talking with a funding partner as well, because if it's something where you decide to jump in full-time day one and utilize a retirement plan, that may throw a third option, which is a C corporation, which is a requirement for some of these rollover business startups, these ROBS plans where you can use your retirement. So I gave you a lot. Be more than glad to dive in further. I'll put my information back up on the screen at the bottom here, ggthefranchiseguy.com /calendar. You can book a 20-minute chat with me, ask me questions, comment on the show or on all social media, YouTube. Next topic, or if you have a specific question off the topic of side hustles, side income, and side gigs. There's so many different terms for this. Semi-absentee ownership. Let me know. Put it in the comments. Send me a direct message. I can keep it confidential. I can mention your name, and we'll definitely use that for a topic for a future episode. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your questions. Looking forward to chatting soon, and let's book a call. Love to chat with you. Nothing to lose, and as I mentioned, I'll guarantee you walk away with something new, learning something new. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways Giuseppe can help. 1. If you've ever considered owning a business of any kind, you owe it to yourself to get a copy of Giuseppe's book, Franchise Freedom. Download your free copy at ggthefranchiseguy.com/book. 2. Want to understand how successful executives make the transition from corporate to owning their own franchise? Join Giuseppe's next online presentation, Franchise Freedom: How to Escape the Corporate World and Have Financial and Time Freedom by Owning a Franchise, by going to ggthefranchiseguy.com/video. 3. Want to work with Giuseppe one-on-one to identify the right franchise opportunity for you, to navigate the process, and get plugged into experienced franchising advisors? Send him an email to gg@ggthefranchiseguy.com with one-on-one in the subject, and he'll send you all the details.